Welcome to the Grieving Girlies, a space for the hearts that are healing from loss. I'm your host, Jode, here to hold space for the hard stuff, navigating loss with honesty, vulnerability, and zero judgment, because we deserve to grieve out loud. Hello everyone, welcome back to the Grieving Girlies. In today's episode, we've got two very special guests today.
Hello.
This is Miles and Mason,
Hello.
Also known as MX2. Miles and Mason are good friends of mine and they have experienced loss, unfortunately, at a very young age. So we're going to talk about it today. So let's start with your first big experience of losing one of your friends super young. So how old were you when you first lost Finn? And just go into your story a little bit if you want to.
I'm Miles, Mason, identical twins. We were 17 years old. We were very good mates with a lad called Finn. And one day he tragically passed away in a motorcycle accident. And it's really had a profound impact on who we are today and kind of shaped us as people.
An amazing impact.
Yeah.
Obviously, such a young age, you think you're invincible. We never experienced loss before that, so no family members. And in every way possible, we grew and we learned from it. And it just changed our whole life. And I feel like everyone can agree with me that it had such a positive impact for such a negative thing.
So you were 17, and when you first found out that you'd lost a close friend, can you, I mean, it's hard to put into words, but explain how that felt?
It was crazy. I remember looking back at the time, it just feels like everything was grey. I remember everyone in the area, everyone where we grew up, all of our friends, everyone around us was all in the same state where it was just no one knew how to react, what to do with themselves. And I think for half a year afterwards, everyone was all just consumed by it, even if they didn't think they were. And he was such a character. He was our first friend that we had from Tewkesbury, and you didn't have to know him. He lit up every single room. Even if you didn't know him, you know him. He was that character. So he definitely made a big impact and left a big dent in a lot of people.
So obviously we've touched on how it's kind of impacted your life and shaped your life. I would say you seem older than you are. And I think I get that a lot. Do you think that it kind of matured you going through something so hard and eye-opening to the world? Do you think that changed how you grew up in a way? Because you're still growing when you're 17.
I am a huge advocate for pain is growth. And as crazy as it sounds, when something like this happens, or you're put in a bad situation, or a situation you don't really want to be in, there's a little bit inside me that gets a little bit excited because I think this is such a great opportunity to grow. You can do two things. People either hide from it and they keep it like this and then it lives with them, or you can let it go and grow from it. And if you can have that power to take a negative situation and grow from it, that is the most beautiful thing you will ever do. And I promise the amount of growth up,
Which you've done amazingly. Amazingly.
Thanks.
It opens your eyes to the reality of life. And as hard as it is, having acceptance that can happen to anyone at any time. And that happening is kind of like, okay, right, proper wake-up call, pinching myself. This is real, and that is the reality of life. But then actually moving forward and accepting the fact that, and being open to the fact that can and does happen.
It's very eye-opening.
Yeah.
Definitely. I always say that the most beautiful people I know have always been through shit.
Definitely. It forces you to get out of your comfort zone, doesn't it? And it also makes you appreciate that you've got to make the most of what we've got when we've got it.
Yeah, no, you really do blossom like us. You know what I mean? We're sat here doing this now. We're doing crazy shit. Yeah. And it's just a beautiful product of what we've been through.
Yeah. So obviously losing Finn was a inspiration for starting your music career. Do you think that's something you would have done if you hadn't have been through that?
Never.
No.
Never.
No way.
We were into music before. Finn was the person that got me into music and rapping and MCing. We used to go out together and do that all the time. And I was never aspired to be a musician. And it was only when he died and we said, look, we need to do something for him. We wrote a song for him and then we said, let's release this for Finn. Let's do it for him and then just leave it. That was the plan.
Yeah.
We did that, made the song, released it, and what a feeling we had after that. It was a beautiful feeling. I can't even explain or put into words how it felt to get it done and get it out there. And then the response we had from that afterwards was beautiful. And then from that we said, look, let's not just stop here. We have the opportunity right now to build a whole legacy for our boy on his name. It was the catalyst for our whole career. I really believe that we would not be here. We'd be in complete different places right now, living a complete different life had he have not died. So it just goes to show that, again, some of the most heartbreaking, hardest things we have to face in life can be the catalysts for the most beautiful things to happen.
Like you said, building something, a legacy off his name. I think when you lose someone close to you, that like passion and that ambition to make them proud and do something for them, and almost because they can, you want to do it 10 times harder. I think that's just like so amazing what you guys do.
Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you.
So then obviously a few years later it kind of happens again. So these two were good friends with my partner Jack, who obviously passed away, and similar circumstances to how you lost Finn as well, which is crazy.
Insane.
Yeah, to go through it twice.
Yeah.
Round 2.
Yeah, so can you explain how you felt again, finding out that it had kind of happened again?
It just felt like, yeah, fuck you, have that. Like just a big blow to the stomach, like, oh, this again. And like, you're back in that bad dream and you're back, like, feels like the world's ending.
We had a real special relationship with Jack. His and our family are all very close. We always have been. We had that brotherly feeling, and it was just a massive kick in the teeth. And again, like Mason just said, it was like going right back to that place, right back to that bad dream. But the difference was when Jack passed for me was, you have to face the grief. Number one, you have to. You can't ignore that. But I think sooner after Jack passed, compared to Finn, I was able to then turn that and say, right, now I've got more of a reason to push and drive.
Yeah.
Now I need to do that. Now,
100%.
This was the second wake up call where I'm like, I've got goosebumps now.
So have I.
Oh. It was the second wake up call, and I was like, I know I said it before, but I was like, right, we're serious this time.
Yeah.
Now it's like solidified the fact that this cannot not work. We'll do everything in me to make sure this works. And I also have been gifted a superpower from that. And I think you bear that as well.
All of
You
us.
bear that.
We've spoken about this before, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
The superpower he's given us.
Of that strength and courage and bravery and love whenever we need it. We now have people that we've got to do this for, but more importantly, they're rooting us to do that. They're rooting for us to do that. So walking around now when times get hard, or when we're up to our neck in work, or we don't want to do it, and then you think, well, it's my duty. I've got to do it. They wouldn't want me to stop. They're screaming at me right now. And I feel that every single day. And that's something that I'm really, really, really blessed and show a lot of gratitude for, to have that.
We're lucky to have our lucky stars, really, aren't we? Even when I'm on like a run or something and I'm in the pain cave, I'd look up and I say, give me some strength then, lads. Come on. Give me power. Give me strength. And I feel it.
You
and it
feel
just
it?
comes.
Yeah.
And then I'll just smile and think, cheers.
Yeah. I was going to say, do you remember when we did that half marathon when we were training and we stopped for like 2 seconds at Jack's Flowers? And we were all like getting goosebumps. We were like, oh. And it just gives you like a second wind, doesn't it, to keep going. It's like such a crazy, unexplainable feeling, but you just know that they're there, like
You feel
pushing
it
you on.
really strong.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it now. I can't lie.
Yeah.
I
So
feel it heavy right now. Like, I'd be lying if I'm trying to, but
leading on from that, I wanted to go into obviously your spirituality a little bit, and obviously I'm a very spiritual person. I know you two are as well. Is that something you kind of had before, or is that something that's come from loss?
I think to an extent, I've always been a little bit spiritual, but spirituality and connecting is there for everyone always. It's just how much you tune in, how much you recognize it, and how much you want to tune in. And I think death, especially, is another big catalyst for people to tune in, because what else in that kind of pain and situation can you do?
Yeah.
And it's a real nice way to kind of reconnect and help get yourself through it, because it is very real. A lot of people might disagree with that, but until you tune in and feel it for yourself, how can you say that it's not?
I was going to ask, because obviously, Mace, you mentioned like when you're on a run and you kind of feel like they give you strength and stuff like that. I was going to ask if you have one thing that pops to mind where you've had a moment of like, oh yeah, they're around, or asking them for something, or
Oh my God, hundreds of moments.
if you have something that pops into mind. I know, yeah, there's probably a lot.
I think the biggest one that comes to mind for me, again, there's been a lot running, and I get this crazy field of energy and strength come over me.
Yeah.
Crazy, like to the next level. The biggest one for me was with Finn, and I was driving. I was on my way to a festival on my own in the car. This does sound absolutely insane, but I had a conversation with Finn. I didn't even realise until afterwards. The thought came to my mind, and I just spoke out loud. But that thought then, it was Finn. So then I replied, and then I was literally chatting for about 25 minutes to myself. You don't just talk to yourself for 25 minutes.
No.
And I was very well aware that it was Finn that I was hearing. I got to where I was heading to in the car, and it was when I stopped my car and I went, what's just happened? How did I just get here that quickly? And I just sat there for literally about half an hour in my car in dead silence, just a complete amazement. I was like, we were chatting about everything. I said, and I made a few promises, and we really spoke. It was mad. And this might be me going absolutely crazy, but if I believe it isn't me, then why else matters? I do remember there was one other time. I think it was the most powerful I've ever felt in my life, actually. And this was Jack. And I was at a weightlifting comp at the NEC, and I was competing, and I was making my final lift. And I was going through quite a rough patch anyway. I'd just gone through a breakup. This was the day after the breakup, actually. So I had this big competition on. I'd just been going through all this stuff. My mind was 1,000 miles an hour. I've got a big crowd in front of me at the NEC. I'm about to make my final lift. If I get this, I've won the competition. I've got gold. God, I remember I stood there at the bar. I've got about a minute left on the clock, and I'm looking up. I spoke to Jack. I said, Jack, give me all the strength you got, blah, blah, blah. And I was looking at the clock. I said, I got 30 seconds here. I shut my eyes and I looked up, and I just channeled and channeled and channeled. I saw his face in my mind so vividly of him. Just how like we used to be at the gym when we trained together. Come on. That was exactly what I saw in my head. Yeah. Right in front of me, him stood there in his vest. And I was like, I channeled out. And when I opened my eyes, I didn't see a thing. And I picked the bar up. I didn't feel a thing. I didn't see a thing. And it wasn't until I put the bar down and I'd made the lift. And I looked up like that, and tears started streaming out of my eyes. And I just said, thank you, man. And that was him. He gave me that. And I really believe that he was there with me. And if it weren't for him, I wouldn't have been able to do that. And I won gold that day because of him.
Oh my God, I got
crazy
goosebumps right now.
Yeah, it was so profound and crazy, and I'm so grateful to have experienced that. But that again is a superpower, right?
Yeah,
exactly what we were saying.
Having someone there when you can feel them around you, like literally pushing you forward, that is such a strength. That obviously, when we did our marathon, I did burst into tears, so probably not that strong. But I literally just felt like he was there. And
I burst into tears as well.
Yeah. But it was literally like, it's so hard to describe, but I was really struggling. Obviously, we're all really struggling. And I was like, I'm going to have to give up. I'm going to run off a side street and just leave him to it. I just felt like he was there. And I know, like you say, you see him in your head, and I can hear him. Like, I know he'd be saying, come on, like, you've got this. And it's just like, it's special. It's so not, like you say, it's a superpower. It's so nice to have that.
Yeah. Watching you go from mile 17, by the way. Mile 17, this girl was adamant that she wasn't finishing the race. She was like, no, I can't do it. You're going to have to just go without me. Just go. I can't do it. And then you ran, how many more miles? 26, so 9 more miles on top of your, that was like your last breath. And you went and ran 9 more miles.
I know.
And also, doesn't that even the fact that the marathon was booked in the first place, you
It's
wouldn't
weird.
have booked a marathon if Jack didn't die.
No,
You know what I
no.
mean? Like the
Yeah.
stuff you're doing with your life, like you wouldn't just
Wouldn't
go
be
run a
sat
marathon.
here
Yeah,
right
We'd
now.
not be doing a podcast
No.
called The Grieving Girlies.
No. So obviously, as 17 or 19-year-old lads losing your friends, if you were to speak to someone in that situation, early days, now losing their friend, they're young, they've had no experience of it before, what would your like number one piece of advice be to them?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
It's a hard
I think the
question.
very, very, very first thing that takes top priority is feel.
Mm.
Make sure you feel. And as scary and as hard as it is, it's so easy to distract yourself and do something else or go down the wrong path. No, you got to feel it. And it's hard and it's scary and you don't want to do it. But that's the only way. You've got to face it sooner or later. The more you discard it and try and distract yourself, it will come back around at some point. And you've got no other way but to face it. Feel it.
Yeah.
And process what's happened. I think the next step after that is accepting as well, which might take ages. It could take months, it could take years, but gradually trying to move towards that point of acceptance and always holding on hope that it will get better.
Yeah.
If you can hope it will get better, it will get better. If you've got no hope it's going to get better, then you're just going to be in a horrible dark place.
I think I'd agree. I would agree. Yeah, feel with an open heart, because you can feel emotion, but emotions, and this comes down to spirituality big time. Your heart is an energy center, and when the valves of your heart are closed, and I'm talking about energy coming through, not blood or anything. Okay, you've just been given the bad news. What happens first? Your heart drops. It all tenses up, and it's when you open your heart, you can feel the energy flowing through. And when your heart's closed, that's what people say, bottling it up. But yeah, feeling with an open heart.
I think sometimes that can be quite scary to do. I think that's why people avoid it.
Yeah, and it is scary. It is, and like when you open your heart, there's little stuff saying no, don't do that. Your fight or flight instincts, something says, oh no, that's not good. That's like threatening. Mm-hmm. So then you just push it down and forget about it. Nah, come look at it, come level with it, and feel.
Yeah. I think another huge thing is not judging yourself for how you feel as well. I think it's easy to beat yourself up and get frustrated because you feel in a certain way. And that's just going to keep, it's a downward spiral from there, because then you're frustrated that you feel that way and you don't want to feel that way. And then and it goes round and round and round, and you cannot judge yourself for how you feel. You got to be gentle with yourself.
Yeah.
And that's not just from grieving. That's in any sense of life.
Brilliant advice. I love that. So to finish off then, I always think it's nice to keep the people that we've lost, keep their memories alive and talk about them and
Amen.
the things we liked about them.
Yeah.
So if each of you want to give me off the top of your head one thing you loved about Finn and one thing you loved about Jack, to just talk about them.
Finn. You know when someone dies?
You could go on and on and on, couldn't you? About
You know when someone dies and they say, "Oh, he really lit up the room."
Never know, but this guy did. Finn did.
Like 80% of the times I saw him, he'd have a big speaker on his shoulder, walking around, playing his music, rapping and doing all this, and like he literally was a beacon of light. And
Yeah, what a guy.
I remember actually, I fell off my motorbike. We used to ride together, and there was probably about 6 of us, and I fell off, and I was really hurting. And everyone just left. And Finn was the only one, and he picked my bike up, and he wheeled it home with me for about 3 miles. And I thought, fuck me, you are a real one, ain't you? What a lad, mate. Heart of gold.
Just great to be around.
Yeah.
Just great. Even if you see him across the street. Jack, for me, it was the ambition that I love the most about Jack. The ambition. He was, I'd say, probably the only friend that I had where whenever I was with him, it was always, what's going on? What's coming up? What are you doing next? What's the plans? What's the goals? We're at the gym. All right, we're training, but we're training hard. We ain't just, going for a little social. Nah, we're going in hard. And that was what I loved about him. He always kind of kept me on the straight and narrow. Like, every time that I'd say goodbye to him, it was like, right, I feel like I'm back on it.
Yeah,
I'm back
motivated.
centered, right? Yeah, motivated.
I'll pick up on the goodbyes with Jack. I remember every single time I said goodbye to him, the last thing he said was, keep fucking smashing it.
Yeah.
Keep going.
And may I say, he was literally our biggest supporter.
Yeah.
Out of all of our mates and friendship group and people around us, Jack was the biggest supporter. If you look back at our old videos, he's there in the comments of all of it. On the Instagram photos, he's in the comments. On our music videos, the Finnovation one especially, the song that we made for Finn that passed away, he's the one in the music video, ringing the mics. That's Jack. Like, he was right there at the very front of the video.
The main character, yeah.
And that was him. And he literally was. It was always striving for more, for him and for us. And
What a powerful human being.
he was our biggest supporter, and he still is.
Definitely.
He still is. What about you?
I honestly agree. To be honest, I think that's one of my favourite things about him too.
Yeah.
Because he motivated me to be a better person all the time. Yeah. And I think, especially now, like, that is so rare to find. Like, you guys are like that as well, by the way. But I do think that just having someone so, like, supportive of any idea was not too much. Like, you could say anything and he'd be like, yeah, well, you could do that, you could go more, you could like, it was like the sky's the limit with anything. It was never like I always have had big dreams, and it was never like, oh, that's crazy, you're never gonna do it. Because some people are like, you're never gonna do that, are you? Let's be realistic.
Too many
yeah. And he was just like, of course you can do that, and what else, like, you know. And that was one of my favorite things as well.
Ambition is crazy. It's very rare, and he had a lot of it.
A hell of a lot. So we got a lot to live up to if we're carrying his.
Bring it on. Damn right. Come on then.
Come on.
Let's do it.
Easy as well. I like that.
We got it. Is there anything else you want to add before I wrap it up?
I guess thank you so much for having us on. It's been an absolute pleasure. Coming. It's been nice to chat.
Yeah.
And hopefully we can do it again at some point in the future.
We will do it again.
Maybe we should do like a 1 year update.
Yeah.
See where MX2
that would be
at.
so cool. That would be good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down for that. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Let's do it. Well, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Loved having you here.
Oh.
We're done.
The Grieving Girlies.
Yeah. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching The Grieving Girlies, and I will see you next week. Bye.